Welcome to Legacy Magazine presents The Business of Black Business, a talk show that interviews Black entrepreneurs and advocates for Black businesses. Topics include access to capital, best business practices, success stories, and more. Now introducing our host, Jay Reynolds.
Hi, and welcome to The Business of Black Business. Now, question for you. Do you dream of home ownership? Are you a first-time home buyer? Are you looking to try to put those pieces together in an effort to try to get there to make your first home purchase? Well, this week, you're in luck because we get to talk to people that can literally help you to get down that path to home ownership. Hi, my name is Jay Reynolds, and this is The Business of Black Business. I own WolfCreek Consulting. We are a top-ranked executive staffing firm that places people in finance, accounting, and IT. This is The Business of Black Business. And it's a show to help Black entrepreneurs and would-be business owners, and then sometimes people within our community to move from one level to the next. It's a show that gives a unique opportunity for you to hear directly from people that can help you. Directly from people to hear, first of all, if they're a business owner, how they did it, how they grew their business, how they built it and maintained it, or to gain valuable information to help you to get from one place to the next. Today, we're going to talk about home ownership. And home ownership, as far as I'm concerned, is the gateway to family legacy. You know, I can tell you how many times my mom would always say, you have to buy some dirt. And we're going to talk about that right now. First of all, I want you to meet our guests. And I want you to thank these guys for being here. I want you to meet, first of all, Vania LaGuerre of Bank of America and Edwin Miller of the Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust. Guys, thank you both for being here. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
With that, ladies first, and I know that Vania, we may have Vania's audio and maybe not her video, but Vania, ladies first. Oh, there you are. Good day.
There I am.
There you are. Great.
Hi, Jay. Good to see you.
Now, go ahead. You first. Go ahead. What I was just going to say is this.
Oh, I'm saying just good to see you and great to be with all of you.
Thank you very much for spending the time. Why don't you, first of all, introduce yourself, Vania, and tell us who you are, and not just who you are as a job title and that stuff, but who are you? Tell us where you come from. Tell us, what makes you you. And then, Ed, I would ask you to do exactly the same thing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Phenomenal. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and excited to be with both you and Ed on today's session. So the name, as Jay indicated, is Vania LaGuerre. I am a market executive with Bank of America, and I basically, my day job is to help lead and deploy the resources of Bank of America in Miami as it pertains to addressing the needs and the concerns of the local community. In addition to that, I'm also very involved in terms of connecting all of the various businesses that Bank of America leads in Miami to make sure that we are addressing the needs of our clients. Also, as it pertains to helping our associates grow and develop in their career path, and more.
We've lost. Ed, what about you? Why don't you
Certainly.
tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay.
And also, what makes you you?
Okay, very good. I'm Edwin Miller. I'm the housing administrator here with the Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust. Again, happy to be here. Thanks for allowing me to be here. I am an accounting geek in disguise who happens to have spent the bulk of his career in finance. I've managed loan portfolios, either commercial loan portfolios or residential loan portfolios. So nowadays with the Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust, while I'm ultimately responsible for a portfolio of junior lien mortgages, we're also implementing some wonderful programs in order to help ease the housing affordability issue here in Miami-Dade County. So you asked who I am. I guess my ministry nowadays is to make sure that we fix the housing affordability issue especially for Black people here in Miami-Dade County.
I got to say, God bless you because of the fact that both you guys, God bless you because of the fact that if you take a look at gentrification, the way it's happening, all you've got to do is drive around Sistrunk Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale, or drive around Overtown, that area, and Wynwood, that area in Fort Lauderdale, and you understand the need for affordable housing for people that look like us. It is basically going away at a rate that that I just find incredible to watch, as a person who's only been here for 20 years. But anyway, enough about that. I really want to kind of dive into your program because I think that's really important. And I know that the overview of this discussion is to talk about Jazz in the Gardens and the fact that you guys are going to be there representing your companies. But the MDEAT and the Bank of America are partnering to activate the housing hub doing Jazz in the Gardens, scheduled for March 11th and 12th. Attendees can come to the House Hub to start their housing journey, which I think is just incredible and important. Vania, if we have you in audio, why don't you talk about the housing market, the fact that it's very competitive. I want you to share your organization's home ownership partnership with MD. If we have you in audio. Okay, Edwin, why? Because we don't have her in audio.
Jake, can you repeat the question?
Okay, the question is, why don't you talk about your organization's home ownership partnership with MD?
Absolutely. And I hope that you can hear me.
I can.
Yes.
We cannot hear you, Vania. Edwin, why don't you talk about your partnership with Bank of America? And
Very good. Thank you. Okay, sure thing. So, actually, big ups to, if you will, Mr. Rinkins in our office. He's done an excellent job as it relates to PR. So, for the most part, it's primarily about awareness for us. And what better way to make sure that people are aware than for us to talk about who we are and what we do in terms of housing at Jazz in the Gardens. Mr. Rinkins felt it necessary that we have an entity like Bank of America, a very huge financial institution, to just kind of help us or work with us toward making sure that we get that awareness out there. Both of us have our own respective down payment assistance programs that Black people need to be aware of.
Yeah.
So it's an excellent opportunity for us to get the word out.
Vania, what's your perspective on that? Why don't you tell me about the partnership and how it evolved, and what's your thought on this partnership between Bank of America and MD? Okay, I don't think she is in and out. So I apologize. Edwin.
Yes, sir.
My mom, I'll just tell you a real quick story, and certainly this is not about me, but I remember my mom raising 4 kids on her own after divorcing from my dad. And she was able to find a way to buy a house, through her own, working, a couple of jobs and stuff like this, and raising 4 kids at the same time. She bought her first house. And I can tell you, I can remember the change, the transformation in her, right? How she began to just feel better, walk taller, the whole 9 yards, and sing sing the praises of owning your own dirt, right? My mom speak. And And not only did she do that for herself, but my members, all other family members got on that bandwagon fairly quickly, and within a couple of years, everybody started buying their own house, and it started with my mom, right? And I could just remember my mom telling me, right after I got out of college, it said, "Hey, look, you can go out and buy cars, or you can buy a house," and that's what I did. I bought a house, and never really looked back, and it was an important thing for me. But give me your perspective on the benefits of home ownership.
Oh my goodness. How much time do we have? No.
Not enough.
Listen, let me just start by saying that there's a significant equity gap between Blacks and the community at large. And that's primarily a result of the gulf between the number of Black people who own their homes and the community at large that, for the most part, tends to own their homes. So with home ownership, I mean, there's just an equity component that is there and improves over time. As one pays their loans down and there's appreciation with the value of the home, one's equity improves. And of course, this show is about a Black business. Those Black business owners, yeah, their net worth improves with the net worth of their businesses, but their net worth also improves as a result of owning the home. So when it's time to get loans, the banker is going to look at the personal financial statement of the business owner. And when they see that home there, along with the business, that increases or improves the likelihood of the business owner doing well with the loan application.
Absolutely, and I can tell you 100% of almost 100% of the time, it's a deal maker or deal breaker, right?
Yes. There are certain ratios in banking that we look at, not just for the business, but for the business owner. And there's a strong correlation between how the individual manages his or her personal credit or financial situation and how they manage the business.
Mm-hmm.
So
I absolutely agree. And they're so closely related, right? To the point in time when some people are looking at they look at the way you handle your personal affairs, and before they even begin to think about giving you money for your business, it's how have you handled your personal affairs as well. So what are some of the challenges that people face when they look to purchase a home?
Well, there's just that hurdle to getting started. We have housing counseling agencies, HUD approved, that just kind of work with our borrowers to just kind of help provide intense handholding to just kind of get them ready to own their home.
Mm-hmm.
So this awareness piece that we're having during Jazz in the Gardens, that'll help tremendously. Also, just managing personal credit and that sort of thing. And the housing counseling agencies, they do a wonderful thing. They'll provide, if you will, a prescription as to what it'll take for you in order to improve your credit so that you can, in fact, get that home that you really need. So,
well, how are you in Bank United? Bank of America. Wow, I bet she's gonna punch me in the face. How are you in Bank of America working together to make this happen? And what I mean by that is what's your role? What do you see your role? And how do you see the role of Bank of America?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Bank United and not just Bank United, but the whole CRA Community Reinvestment Act community, because we work with all of our banking friends. Some of them are on our board, and Bank of America is a huge bank. And just being able to talk about our down payment assistance along with theirs, and you can layer these programs, is just a wonderful thing for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
For us, for Bank of America, for its CRA, and just for the good it wants to do in terms of its own down payment assistance. So with our coming together to do that, that's a wonderful thing. You mentioned Bank United. There's some things that we're working on along with Bank United and other banks in the CRA community, whereby we will in fact work together in order to fix a lot of the ills that we have in Miami-Dade County and all of South Florida, as it relates to affordability. We're in the epicenter of the affordability crisis, and to the extent there's synergy among the financial institutions and us, will all boats will rise.
Got it. One of the questions I was trying to get to is in terms of, again, I'm asking kind of the same question because I think it's important that people get a feeling for it. Some of the challenges that people face when they look to buy a home for the first time. What do you see most oftentimes as really the issues that they face? And you mentioned prescription, and I do get that. But what are some of the things that you see that are, let's say, for example, undeniable kind of consequences that you see when people are actually looking for a home?
Listen, I'm fairly sure this isn't what you're expecting, but I just believe it boils down to just faith that this is gonna work, that it will in fact work. That yes, go ahead and apply. Make sure you apply yourself and get the home that you need. Just stay the course, and to the extent you can do that, everything else will fall into place. If you have credit issues, that housing counseling agency that I talked about, or those housing counseling agencies that we do business with, they will come in and help. Julius, you have down payment assistance issues, here we are. We can give you up to $28,500, and there are other entities in town that can help with that. So just I wish the folks that we seek to serve would just have the faith that we can in fact help them and just stay the course.
You know what I see a whole lot of is that, in the staffing world, I see a whole lot of let's call it 25 to 30-year-olds, or 25 to 30. Let's give it bigger 25 to 35-year-olds that have decent jobs, have decent credit, but they really don't see themselves as being able to get it done, right? How can you how can MDEAT help people to meet those and manage through those challenges of, let's call it, the first-time home buyer, young person who's got, let's say, who's never bought anything like that before outside of a car? How do you do that?
Via awareness, by having situations where we can work with Bank of America and others in the banking community. She was at Jazz in the Garden to just kind of let them know that we're here, there's help for you. And our housing counseling agencies, I'm sure, do a good job. I know they do a good job of just kind of helping people see a little further down the road. Yeah, they're 25 now, but time will go by very quickly. I'm here to tell you, you'll be 50.
Yeah. And you don't want to look over your shoulder and said, I wish I could have.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So, the markets fluctuate. And it may not look promising now, but listen, you will definitely thank yourself going forward. And, you think prices are high now, you just cannot imagine what they'll be like in 25 years.
I can't. I just cannot imagine, and I'm telling my 30-year-old son, my he's not quite 29, he's 28, 28-year-old son, he keeps saying, well, Dad, I'm going to wait till the prices go down. Don't forget about that. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. If you think for 1 second that there's going to be another crash, even if there is a crash, that crash is not going to happen in South Florida because people are moving here at a rate of 10,000 people a day. So it's just not gonna happen. So I think you make a very valid point. People just should not wait.
No.
Talk to me a little bit about Bank of America's community homeownership commitment. How do you see Bank of America being committed to this process?
Well, again, Bank of America has a down payment assistance program very much like ours, and with any down payment assistance program, there's another entity just here with Miami-Dade County Public Housing Community Development, where we can layer these down payment assistance programs. In fact, I don't want to steal Bank of America's thunder, but it's just so very important that the community knows that we are here, there are others out here, and we all work together.
Yeah.
Work together. So we know that the prices are relatively high. We know that the down payment is high. And we all know each other, and there's camaraderie here. So if you reach out to one of us, we're going to work together and make sure that we close with our down payment assistance, with that of PHCD, Public Housing Community Development, and Bank of America's, along with some of the others in town. So that's right. I hope that answers your question.
No, it answers my question 100%. And we're going to call this like segment 1 of 2, right? Because we weren't able to see to actually have Vania because of technical difficulties. But I think it makes sense to get her perspective or the bank's perspective as well. So the next show, you know, I'm clairvoyant here, you know.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Speaking into existence. Exactly right. So showing up, the next part will be us talking specifically to her. Tell me a little bit about the requirements of the MD program.
Well, let me just say that has changed, and it's changing. During the last legislative session, there was legislation that changed the surtax program. So we use surtax funds, basically the funds that arise from commercial impact fees. When you see these cranes going up and that sort of thing, you know that some impact fees have been paid. The Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust receives 8% of those dollars, whereby PHCD, who I just mentioned, they received the lion's share, 92%. So there was a time when it was a first-time home buyer program. It's not that anymore. It's a down payment assistance program whereby one can only benefit from that once. So
whoa, hang on a second. That's new news now. That's new news. So you got to say that again slowly. So you're telling me that it's no longer a first-time homeowners. It's a down payment assistance program, which means that if this is your second home, you bought a home, you sold it, but you're about to buy another home. Maybe I'm checking this right.
Come talk to us. Yeah.
You can actually apply for and get this money as part of your down payment.
Sure. Up to 140% of AGI. So
wow.
So it's a wonderful thing whereby we need to make sure that those people who may be doing fairly well come talk to us. You know, not only can we might be able to help you, if we can't, there's some other entities in town that can help you. So
yes. So if somebody wanted to buy investment property, a business person wanted to buy investment property.
Well,
this has got to be owned. I mean, this has got to be homeowner occupied.
It has to be owner occupied. Yes, sir.
I got to ask the questions, brother.
That's a good question. Thanks for asking that question. In fact, we're trying to make sure that we manage the expectations of the investors out there. I'm a reformed investor, so.
Hey, once an investor, always an investor.
My goodness!
You never reform. Yeah, you can try to reform yourself, but it doesn't happen.
But honestly, I have to just kind of make sure I'm careful as it relates to investing. I'm running a housing program, so I want to make sure that we stay away from even the appearance of impropriety.
Right. Well, I had to ask the question because, gosh knows, I would probably get 2 or 3 emails about that.
Certainly.
So we put that away right away. But I think that is really amazing that you can literally layer these programs like one of our viewers just talked about. You can layer these programs with different entities, and not only that you can layer these programs, but you can also do it even if it's not your first time home, first home purchase. That's just amazing to me, Ed. It's amazing to me, and it begins the legacy of changing the trajectory of people's lives and everybody around them. So I just think that that's very cool. Tell me how you believe consumers can begin to prepare themselves for this program.
Just please apply. Give us a call at 305 375 5661. I'll say that again, 305 375 5661. Honestly, what we'll end up doing is pairing you with one of the housing counseling agencies, either in your area or that you feel comfortable with. I'm sure there's some people out there, Palicoyo, and that's fine. We have some housing counseling agencies that deal specifically with that community, and there's some who habla español. We also have quite a few housing counseling agencies that, just kind of specifically deal with people who prefer Spanish. But,
Sure.
Basically, we'll just kind of put you in touch with the housing counseling agencies so that you can just kind of work to put your team together, your realtor, your mortgage loan officer, and your title company, and that sort of thing, so that you can, in fact, buy your home. But it's just so important that you just start the process and stay the course. I can't preach that enough.
Yeah, nothing ventured, nothing gained. You all, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
It doesn't matter. You just don't know, and things sometimes will take on a life of its own. You know what I mean? It'll
Certainly.
just basically take on a life of its own, and then, next thing you know, you have a bunch of people working with you to help you to make it happen. And it sounds like that's what you have. Between Bank of America and MDEAT, you have this team of people with a single-minded focus of getting you into a new home.
No doubt. Yes, sir.
It just doesn't get any cooler than that. Tell me again how people can connect with MDEAT to get more information about the program. If you can if you'd like to later, put something in the chat box, or if you can, maybe let Aaliyah know, and then we can put it up. We can put it up for people so that they can actually write it down while we're going through the process.
Sure thing. I'll do the latter. I'll make sure that Aaliyah has the information so that she can make people aware. But listen, give us a call at 305 375 5661. Listen, I work with a very talented team. I'm sure you see Vincent Burnett, who we were talking about earlier.
We were just talking about him,
right?
Hey, Vincent,
behind me there.
Vincent was on the show, and he was on the show, and he did a great job. You
no
should be
doubt.
very proud of him. You should be very proud of him.
No doubt. I am very proud of him. So, listen, we have a lot of very talented people who are very well versed on this program, who can do a very good job of whoever answers the phone can give you the insight that you need in order to work toward your getting your home.
Got it. Well, I'll tell you what, just hang on for 1 second. I need to do a couple things. I need to kind of thank the people that make this happen, right? We've been lucky enough to have this show that's designed to do exactly what you're doing right now, imparting information to our community to help take people from one level to the next. And there are a fair amount of folks have been instrumental in making that happen. So I really want to thank them. First of all, I want to thank Dexter Bridgman and his crew, Aaliyah and Zach. I really appreciate all that you guys do. You guys are making a difference. And I know perhaps sometimes it's a thankless job. People don't always tell you how great you are, but I don't mind telling you how great you are at all. You guys do an amazing job. So I also want to thank the sponsors, Demesman and Dover Personal Injury Attorneys. Victor, you and your guys have been behind us for over a year and a half. So thank you very much. Career Source of South Florida. And Career Source South Florida, again, a sponsor who's been around for a long time. And what I really like about their sponsorship is that each and every week we get the opportunity to talk about jobs that they have posted out there that people can apply for. Right now, there's a physical therapist position that pays $37 an hour, a sales associate position that pays $37 an hour, an event planning manager, $26 an hour, several aircraft mechanic positions, a number of them at $23 an hour. So each and every week, Career Source of South Florida uploads these positions, and you get the opportunity to go online and apply for one of those jobs, which may change your life as well as the life of your family. Then you have FAMU Medical Marijuana Educators and Research Institute, the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach, and last but certainly not least, AARP. Thank you guys for being sponsors and making a difference. Um, Finally, I want to just give a shout out to some of the other shows that are on this Legacy Magazine channel. Mondays you have one of the ones that you really don't want to miss is the Business of Black Business is 1 p.m. with me each and every Monday. Tuesday, My Money, Your Money at 7 p.m. with Bridget Lumpkin. Wednesday with Soul with Nikki Geelan. Jellen, she always corrects me in the way to pronounce her name. Her name is Nikki Jellen. Thursdays, Lunch with Legacy Leaders, 12 noon with Anne Marie Sorrells. A Taste of South Florida at 7 p.m. with my boy, Chef Ari, who just won Best of Show last past weekend. Go, Chef. And then finally, Black Health hosted by Dr. Michelle Kerwin on Fridays at 2 p.m. So go to those shows. They're all thought leaders. They're all imparting information that will perhaps change your life. Who knows? And I want to just come back to you, Ed. Why don't you leave us with what I like to call secret sauce? Okay. What are some of the things that you would like for people to hear and to remember? One or two things that you believe that as you are ending, we're wrapping up this conversation. What do you want to leave people with?
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that we have a rehab program whereby if someone already owns a home in Miami-Dade County and they need to repair the home, give us a call. We have that program up to $50,000. One can get their homes repaired. Also, if one is a developer and they need funds to develop their property for sale, by all means, give us a call. We'd love to discuss that with you. And that's up to a max of $2 million. And we should start that. We should have our first loan in March. The loan was approved, and we're just kind of making sure that administratively we're all set and ready to go.
Wow, that's cool. So so you're saying to me you would literally give a developer $2 million equity almost in a build, and not give, but is it got to be like affordable housing, or what are the parameters?
Very good. It's a loan, and
it's a loan. I got you.
It's for the purpose of affordable housing, or just to make sure that we fix this housing affordability issue in Miami-Dade County. And then, as it relates to the rehab program, there are enough houses out there that just kind of need repair. And
a roof. Are you kidding me? A roof, or or flooring, or something that keeps it from being uninhabitable, or keeps it from going into decay. Which is equally important.
Yes, sir. So those are some of the many things that we're doing in order to help fix the housing affordability issue. So in short, I just want to leave you with the fact that we're here and we are, in fact, actively addressing the housing affordability issue, considering Miami-Dade County as the epicenter of the housing affordability issue.
Well, I got to tell you, Ed, there are a couple of people out there that are doing work that allows you to go to sleep at night and say to yourself, get yourself a good night's sleep. The work that you're doing allows you to get yourself a good night's sleep because it's making a difference. So all I can say is this, is that take advantage of these programs, because these programs, we don't know how long these programs are going to be around, right? Unfortunately, the good news is that they're here. The bad news is that we need to make sure that we as a community, we utilize these programs, because we don't know how long they're gonna be around. I certainly wish they were around when I was buying my first house. At any rate, I always say, Ed, if it is to be, it's up to me. I certainly miss the opportunity to have both you and Vania talking in stereo. But I promise you, what we're going to do is we're going to have her on segment 2, where we get the bank's perspective. So with that, again, hey, thanks a lot for being here. I really appreciate the time and the knowledge, and keep doing the stuff that you're doing, and you're making a difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you.